Hey guys, welcome back to some more reviews. The Explorer of Horror here, the Horror Boy, and today we're getting to The People Under the Stairs, which came out in 1991, gets a 6.4 on IMDb, and was written by Wes Craven. Now, this is the Scream Factory Blu-ray, which, if you're a fan of this movie, man, pick this edition up. This is such a awesome edition for this movie. I mean, it's just loaded with features. You get two commentaries. I believe the commentary on this Blu-ray was Wes Craven's last commentary, so that's just very unfortunate. I mean, rest in peace to Wes Craven. I mean, just a master at what he did, and really just a genius at making horror, and just a really cool guy. I've seen interviews with him. Seems very intelligent. Seems like he knows what he's doing with his movies, and it's just a shame that we lost him. He's sorely missed, sorely missed, and I big fan of his work. I watched Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes. I love both those movies. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. I love Serpent in the Rainbow and Shocker to death. I love all the Scream movies, all of them. I think Scream 3 is awesome. Sue me. I love all of them, including Scream 3 and 4 and 2. I love all of them. As well as I seen Hills of Ice Part 2 a long time ago, but that's not a very good movie, but I seen it a long time ago. But I'm trying to think. I haven't seen My Soul to Take. I haven't seen. Did he direct Swamp Thing? Or am I mistaken? Am I mistaken? Oh yeah, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I love Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It's a great movie. Cursed. Uh, but yeah, big fan of Wes Craven. I believe he made this after Shocker, and I'll probably review that next. But yeah, this Blu-ray has two commentaries, has interviews upon interviews upon interviews, has trailers, still galleries, behind the scenes footage, just all kinds of stuff, and also great picture and great sound. And I love this original poster. That's one of my favorite horror movie posters of all time, as well as this movie is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. But to show you guys the alternate artwork here, which is pretty good by Scream Factory. I still really enjoy it. But, it's just, I think it's great, but I've always just loved that poster. That's like Shocker. I always loved that poster too. There's a poster for Serpent in the Rainbow. It was like a custom made one that I found. It was like, I was going through posters for it, and it was like a custom made poster. It looked sick for Serpent in the Rainbow. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted it one day, and it's like a collage of all the events in the movie, and it's just the way it looks is just very well done. But yeah, The People Under the Stairs, I think it's just a masterpiece. I mean, really, when this came out, it gets a 6.4. That's lower than The Serpent and the Rainbow. This movie does not deserve a 6.4. This and Shocker gets a 5.5. Oh my god. But this and Shocker and Serpent and the Rainbow are those movies that need to be up there in the 6.0, 7.0 range, because these are really solid movies. Um, and like I said, this movie was really when Wes Craven at this time was just making different projects. Every single project. I mean, really, if you think about it, every project's been the same, or been not the same, been different. Like Hills of Eyes is different from Last House on the Left, and Nightmare on Elm Street is certainly different than that, and so is Scream, and so is People Under the Stairs, and Shocker. Like, they all feel different, they're all different kinds of movies. And with this movie, I think he really accomplished some great things. I mean, you got a great cast. You got Brendan Quinton Adams playing Fool, great lead. You've got Everett McGill and Wendy Robbie doing a great job playing psychos as man and woman. You think they're husband and wife, but I think they're brother and sister. And it's a very creepy aspect. You got Alice by A.J. Langer, really good uh, lead as well. She's another one of the leads. Ving Rhames is in this movie. Big fan of him. He's Leroy. Sean Whalen, who has been in Laid to Rest and Hatchet 3 and plenty other horror films out there. He's in this movie. He does a great job as Roach. Uh, You have Jeremy Roberts. They got a great cast here. I mean, the cast, every single one of them does a really great job, and they all deliver some awesome performances. And I think what it is I just love the plot. And I remember when I seen this as a kid. There's something about seeing this and the Lost Boys, and you know, seeing movies of this kind of caliber. Shocker and just those really fun, late or well early '90s and '80s horror films. Like I remember when I was a kid, this movie used to creep me out. It was creepy and scary, but fun at the same time. And I remember being a kid just thinking it was a really awesome movie, and I still think it's an awesome movie. It's like Serpent in the Rainbow. I seen that as a kid, thought it was a legit creepy movie, and I still enjoy it to this day. But I love this movie to this day. This is still one of my favorite horror films of all time. And the story is very simple. I mean, you got kind of this rich and poor aspect of the movie where Fool, lives in the ghetto, lives in the rough side of town, and his mom is sick, and he lives in this really rundown apartment. It was really really rundown apartment. And these two characters, the wife and husband, brother and sister kind of characters, man and woman, they are very rich. They own most of this area that they live in, that Fool lives in. And Fool listens to Ving Rhames' character, who is the boyfriend to his sister, and they agree to go rob the rich to kind of feed the poor, kind of that whole thing going on. And when they go to this house, they get trapped in there, and they run all kinds of stuff. They run like killer dogs and traps, and the house goes on lockdown. They can't get out. It ends up being, where Ving Rhames gets attacked and killed, and the other guy dies from fear, and it ends up being Fool in there by himself, and he has to get help from Roach and Alice to kind of help him throughout the house. And the movie kind of goes on from there. I think it's just a very solid horror film. I think it has some great effects. I mean, it has some just classic scenes that I just love, where, in the beginning of the movie, you have the cards. I don't remember what that's called. What is that called, by the way, those cards? They have, like, the Fool and the King and stuff like that, like, different kind of cards. Like, there's something to do with, like, fate and stuff like that, and luck and stuff. I don't remember what it's called, but it's those weird cards you can see, like, you can find, like, gypsies use them and stuff like that. But his card is the Fool, and that's pretty much his nickname, and it makes him memorable, and also he's a good actor, too. And his sister is telling the story of this, and then, you get introduced to his environment. And Wes Craven did a great job of filming it. The crack houses and the abandoned places, the rough streets, really sold you on this being a rundown neighborhood, and kind of how the rich kind of dried this area out of all resources, and it kind of became this wasteland. And it really, that I thought was nailed in this movie. I thought it was just completely nailed. And I like that scene where keep him real hungry, and he's like gutting Ving Rhames. This creepy scenes, by the way. It's one of those horror films that's fun, but also creepy. It can be creepy. It can be scary. The idea of these people who were trapped in the darkness for so long, they became cannibalized, and they're the people under the stairs. These kids, this family is kind of viewed as the sinners, the people who spoke evil or seen evil, heard evil, except for Alice. Alice is the only one who hasn't done any of those things. So they've either gotten their tongues cut out, they can't talk, they can't hear, so they push the crazy couple pushes these people under the stairs, and it became this really crazy looking, deformed people with these creepy eyes. And they have flashlights. And it's a very good visual of the boards and the flashlight. Very good looking. And I think that's also what is well done in this movie too. The lighting, the atmosphere, the mood of the movie, the look of the house is very well done. The shots of the inside of the walls. I mean, there's some great scenes there too, where they're running through the walls and dogs are falling through, and it kind of falls on the shaft, and it's a trap that Roach set up. Roach is a great character. Fool, that great scene. And it can be funny. I'm gonna kill you! And then Roach Take a slingshot. Oh, that was great. Um, where he thinks the crazy dad thinks he killed Full, but he actually killed the dog. Oh shit! You killed Prince. And then there's I really thought the creepiest aspect of the movie was the crazy mom, Wendy. Was it Wendy Robbie? Yeah, Wendy Robbie. Fantastic job in this movie. She really sold playing crazy. Legit. She made me afraid of her when I was watching. Like, man, this chick is crazy. And there's that great scene that I just think is one of the most iconic horror shots, where Alice walks into the kitchen and she's, chopping something with his knife, then turns around and runs to the can with the knife. Just such a classic shot. I like how Fool escapes the house, but he comes back and saves Alice. He doesn't just leave and take. He took. I think he got the money too with him, so he could have easily just left and had the gold coins and left Alice there, and he'd been fine. But then he goes back, saves Alice. The house explodes. Gold coins and dollar bills are going everywhere, and pretty much the poor are now rich. And I think that just handled very well, because money, especially nowadays, can be used for so many evil things, and this movie kind of shows that. And these rich people were just completely cutting off all resources from this community, and they made it turn into like a barren wasteland, kind of. And at the end of the movie, the poor rise up and they win. And I like that because it's a cool idea. It's a cool idea. And I think even at the time, the early 90s, I mean, really, you had a lot of struggle with poverty and stuff like that. So it's kind of that movie for the people. I love that aspect. I love the whole crazy family dynamic these people have. Twisted family idea. The idea that one house that you always avoid. As it says here, in every neighborhood, there is one house that adults whisper about and children cross the street to avoid. People under the stairs. And that really is true. I mean, there's almost a lot of, in horror stories and horror movies, there's that one house that you avoid, the Myers house, the house where this all happened, And this movie uses that, classic element and just expands upon it. And you have a great ending where they fight back against the crazy mom and dad characters. The mom, I think, gets killed by the rest of the children. And I think the dad gets, arrested or something like that. Actually, I think he explodes. I think he dies in the explosion or something like that. And, I mean, it's a very straightforward movie. I really enjoy it. I mean, it has a great score. Wes Craven definitely did a great job making this movie. It's a legit classic horror film that, if you haven't seen yet, I recommend seeing it. It's a very good watch. And it just covers a lot of great stuff. They have a great cast. And some more scenes I want to talk about real quick. I like the scene where it's pretty much full running from door to door. Everything is locked. The whole house is locked down. And then he goes into this bathroom where Alice is there. And then the freaking dad is running down the hallway with this S&M costume with a shotgun because he hears Roach in the wall, walking around and in the walls and stuff. He's shooting the walls. I'm gonna find you. And it's just a crazy scene. And then you have just great stuff. I mean, if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. I mean, there's not much else I could say about it. It's just a wonderful time. Wonderful time. So, yeah, very quick, easy, simple review. But, like I said, I've pretty much covered everything. I mean, it's just, if you want to see a great edition of this, pick this up. This is for you if you're a People Under the Stairs fan, which I am. Just altogether, for the early 90s, by the way, the early 90s wasn't really the best time for horror. I mean, the early 90s was kind of the downfall. You had stuff like Jason Goes to Hell, which I love, but gets chastised, and, I mean, it's like people really don't like it that much. You had Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3. I think Freddy's Dead, which I like, but it's not a very scary movie, but I still like it. You had a lot of great movies from the early 90s that kind of get... like, the early 90s was kind of that downfall, but at the same time, you still had some horror films that were kind of like this that were still doing it very well, like this and Jacob's Ladder. And in my opinion, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3. But anyways, yeah, like I said, classic movie, great film. Wes Craven is missed, heavily missed. I mean, he's a great guy. Gave us some great movies, and, definitely rest in peace to Wes Craven. Thank you so much for this movie. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my review on Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs. Hope you guys enjoyed. And, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you guys later. The Explorer of Horror is out. See you guys.